you guys are interested in purchasing this switch panel, use code MAD1 at checkout for 15% off at Auxbeam.com. I also have it linked down in the description below. So let's get to the video. Well, Auxbeam reached out to me recently and wanted to sponsor the channel with something that I could use and show off for them, and we settled on this AR800 8-gang switch panel, which is going to be great for me moving forward. I have a lot of accessories that I'm looking to add to this rig, including lights and lockers and air compressor and a bunch of other stuff, inverters, and having a good foundation for a switch panel is really exciting and really simplifies the process. I don't know if you guys know this, but this switch panel only needs one loom of wires to go into the cab, and then everything else is taken care of inside the engine bay, which really makes for a clean install. They offer a couple different mounting solutions and brackets for both the switch panel and the fuse or solid state relay sort of brain box that you see I'm messing with here. And we'll get into some of the features that this thing incorporates a little bit later. A lot of cool stuff I want to tell you about, but for now I'm just looking for a good place to mount this thing that's going to be out of the way and easily accessible. So I landed on this firewall spot that is tucked up out of the way. It doesn't cover anything, and it is relatively easily accessible, and it's really the only spot that I have room at the moment, and I think it's going to work well. It kind of covers the entry point into the firewall, so all my wires will come straight through the firewall and right up into the fuse panel. I'm using some riv nuts to attach it to the firewall. That's sort of my preferred method of blind hole fasteners securing stuff to the firewall, that sort of thing. Really easy and really clean, and makes for easy removal and installation down the road.
So since I jumped the gun like normal, and I can't fit the riv nut gun into the area that I drilled a hole, I came up with this little, I've used something like this before. Basically, I got a bolt here with a nut and a couple of washers with some grease on them. So in theory, as I tighten this nut down, the threads of the riv nut are right here. It should crush this in place. I just tried it without the washers, and it just tended to spin the riv nut. So with a little bit of grease and some washers, hopefully I can get the nut to spin without the riv nut spinning. And if I do that, this thing will be mounted nice and clean, hidden, and I won't have to take the brake booster out, which would be absolutely terrible. So what actually ended up being the key to this whole deal is that I put a nut bigger than the bolt itself as the sort of backstop for the riv nut, and then I put a wrench on it so I could hold it in place. So as I turn the bolt or the nut to draw the riv nut in, this nut here held the riv nut from spinning. So that turned out to work really well. So just for future reference,
as I mentioned before, the only thing that really needs to go through the firewall is this small loom of wires, just that powers up and sends a signal from the control panel, and that's really kind of the genius of this kit. So with that out of the way, we can go ahead and get this engine bay buttoned up, get this fuse panel installed, and move on to the next thing. This kit comes with a circuit breaker for the entire fuse panel, and also each circuit individually is fused circuit protection is one of those important things that sometimes gets overlooked and in critical scenarios can cause to actual vehicle fires. So it's important to pay attention to your circuit amperage and your wire size and making sure all of your circuits are fused properly. So it's nice that this kit comes with all of that stuff already figured out, ready to go, and there's no guesswork involved. The last connection here in the engine bay is just this ignition wire that actually tells the whole system to turn on when the key is turned on, which they provide a really nice fuse tab for the mini fuses. So all you got to do is source an ignition fuse and pop it out, pop this fuse tab in there, and the wiring in the engine bay is all done. So let's go over some of the features that this switch panel incorporates. It is an 8-circuit controller, so you got two 5, two 10, two 20, and two 30 amp circuits that this panel will control. The RGB LED background lighting really makes for a nice fit and finish because you can match it to your interior lighting, which is actually really important to me, and the dimness is controllable as well. So once you get your color selected, you can dim it and match it pretty dang close to your factory lighting, as you'll see here towards the end of the video. The Bluetooth app is really where this thing comes alive. It offers you the ability to change all of your lighting settings, change your dimness settings. You can have a mock sort of fit up of your switch panel on the app where you can select from 200 icons for all of your switches. You can import actually your own pictures for those switches. You can group switches together. You can change the designation of the switches, the operation of the switches from toggle momentary to pulse. You can change the rate at which they pulse. And once you've got everything set up just the way you want it to, it automatically saves, so you don't have to use the app if you don't want to. There's also a bunch of features that you can access through hotkeys or shortcuts on the control panel itself, which I find to be very useful. So overall, super excited about this switch panel and all the features that it incorporates.
That's gonna do it, boys. Big thanks to Auxbeam for jumping on board with the channel and sending us this awesome switch panel that works great. And I'm super excited to add a bunch of stuff to it down the road. They're also coming on board to do a giveaway with me in the very near future. I'll have more details on that in the next couple weeks. So make sure to subscribe if you want to have the chance to win some really awesome new pod lights that they just came out with. They're going to send me a set. I'm going to test them out, give them a thorough run through, and I'll have a set to give away. So that'll be really cool. I've also got some other cool gear I'm going to give away, but you'll have to stay tuned to find out. That's it for this video, guys. Once again, big thanks to these guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
Once again, if you guys are looking to pick up this switch panel, head over to their website, auxbeam.com, and use code MAD1 at checkout for 15% off. I also have it linked down in the description below. So we'll see you guys on the next one.